We are starting off with the wars that dominated the headlines in 2024. They may pause in 2025, but the question is, will peace return in our lifetimes? Before these parts of the world even forget what peace looks like? The sheer devastation has resulted in thousands dying in wars. Will the thousands who have lost babies and young husbands and brothers and sisters ever forgive and forget? How are they supposed to turn the page and start a new year? How are they supposed to start afresh? The wounds of Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Ukraine, Russia are far too deep. The scars will not disappear. These young lives have been shaped by bombings, displacement, the unrelenting trauma of war. Will the present generation ever forgive those who have robbed them of their childhoods, their families, their homeland? Ukraine, once hailed for its resilience, now stands at the brink of an uncertain future. The battlefield depicting a grim picture, to say the least. There are various reports highlighting how Ukrainian troops, once celebrated for all their grit, are now utterly exhausted and devastated by the Russian forces. Earlier this month, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said approximately 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers have lost their lives since the war started, depicting the scale of casualties in this 3-year-long war. The Kremlin does not officially disclose casualty figures, but the figures are likely to be on the scale of casualties in Ukraine. Both sides have used mercenaries or, in Russia's case, sent about 10,000 troops from North Korea, tipping the scales further in Russia's favor in a way, who have reportedly captured over 2,350 square kilometers of territory in eastern Ukraine this year alone and marked key Ukrainian regions like Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Zaporizhia as Moscow's stated objectives for the year 2025. Across 2024, Volodymyr Zelensky repeated pleas to Western allies for more support. Advanced weapons like British Storm Shadow missiles, American ATACMS were supplied to Kiev. Yesterday, the United States announced nearly $6 billion in additional military and budget assistance for Ukraine. As per a Reuters report, in fact, the U.S. Congress has approved $175 billion in total assistance for Ukraine since the war started in February 2022. One reason why the wars might pause is because even allies of Ukraine are exhausted by the continuing demands. But the Ukrainian army reportedly finds itself stretched to the breaking point. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur who will lead the Department of Government Efficiency in the Trump 2.0 administration, reacted to Joe Biden's recent aid announcement for Ukrainian military aid on the platform X, seemingly mocking Zelensky by calling him, quote-unquote, an all-time champ. Now, his comment perhaps underscores growing frustration levels in America. As per experts, Ukraine is losing this war and Russia's advances have been relentless. The creation of a new map, in a way, with expanded Russian territories, they say, seems inevitable, as Moscow has made it clear that it is determined to redraw Ukraine's borders, cementing its dominance in the region. Will this result in the installation of a pro-Russian president in Kiev in 2025? Perhaps backed by President-elect Donald Trump? When Trump returns to power, it is expected that he will press for a ceasefire settlement that favors Russia.
What should Zelensky, if anything, be prepared to give up to end this war?
He should be prepared to make a deal. That's all. Got to be a deal. No, got to be a deal. Too many people being killed. That is a war that's too many people. Got to make a deal. And Putin has to make a deal.
What deal would you
Putin has to make a deal, and Putin would have never gone in if I was president.
You see, the implications for Zelensky are dire. His political future, after all, is shrouded in doubt, and many experts are questioning whether he will survive the fallout of what increasingly looks like a lost cause. Trump, remember, has pledged to end the war in 24 hours. Now, let's just turn to West Asia, where the suffering has been profound, to say the least. Major stakeholders, both regional and international, continue to eye territorial gains, vying for control and influence over a region rich in strategic influence. A direct byproduct of this has been a devastating escalation in violence across Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, leaving thousands dead. According to the UN, in Gaza alone, over 45,000 Palestinians have lost their lives. The situation in Syria is also harrowing. As per the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, at least 4,000 people have lost their lives this year, 2024. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, the war with Israel has claimed more than 3,000 lives so far. As winter tightens its icy grip, the toll continues to rise. So does the suffering. Thousands of displaced families are now facing death from exposure. In Gaza, where temperatures have plummeted, at least 6 infants have lost their lives due to cold-related illnesses across Gaza this week alone. Imagine that. International aid organizations warn that without immediate intervention, this number could double. It is clear that the human cost in the Russia-Ukraine war and West Asia is staggering. A generation has been lost to war, to conflicts. For the children caught in these wars, the future appears bleak. Ceasefires have been brokered and broken. Civilians continue to pay the ultimate price. This is the year of death, a year that has shattered hopes for peace in both Russia-Ukraine war and West Asia, and the road ahead only appears dark and uncertain as of now, leaving us with the same question. Can peace ever truly return? With no clear path to peace as of now and the conflict escalating on all fronts, the answer seems more elusive than ever. The only certainty in these wars is uncertainty, and that will unfortunately continue into 2025.